I am planning on using this video, if this is a good run, to submit this game to AGEQ. So I'm going to keep talking as if it is a marathon run. So, sorry for anybody that's wondering about that. So, this is the Next Penelope, Race to Odessa's. I started running this game literally the day of its full release on Steam. I happened to buy it that day, mainly for the soundtrack, actually. And, decided to play it. Took me about 3-4 hours to complete the campaign, my first playthrough. And then I wondered, well, I know how to beat the game now. I wonder how fast I could beat it without, you know, skipping cutscenes and not dying all over the place like I did the first time. And that playthrough ended up taking about 45 minutes. Then I refined it to only have one death later that day on a second attempt in 40 minutes. Basically, I had the day off from work and I spent all day with this game. That was a skip right there, by the way. That saved about 20 seconds. Since then, the world record's been taken down to 22:15. That's just how many skips we've found. We've found over a dozen skips and optimizations that you would not see in a normal playthrough of this game that all save a minute or two here and there that have allowed the game to come down so quickly. Everything in this game, literally every single power-up you have gets used and abused in some fashion. Even the experience points. You notice that I'm getting experience points. We use that and routed out how many experience points we're getting to buy a power-up at a very specific point to even save time. Because experience points buy power-ups. So, everything in this game gets abused to make it go fast. Right now, I only have the Smash Boost available to use. Smash boosting is very much like the F-Zero games. You boost and it takes your health away, but you go faster. Now we've also just unlocked the plasma gun. By the way, I'm just playing in French because I want to. I'm tired of seeing the text in English. I've seen the text in English 10,000 times before at this point. You know, I don't want to see it in anything different. But the plasma gun's pointless for races because it's just much faster to just outdrive the other racers instead of shoot them down. So you're not going to see the plasma gun used until about 6 minutes into the run. 6 minutes into the run, we'll use the plasma gun against the first boss fight that we'll face. And this game has shoot-'em-up style boss fights that are very, very fast-paced and flashy. And several of them, actually every single one of them, has techniques that we use to make the fight go much faster than intended. Also, I always take the bottom path there because it avoids that animation I just got right there. But that was a pretty good first race. All races are 5 laps, by the way. And now we go to the world that we get the mines in. So there is a route to this. You can visit the worlds in any order you want, but the mine world is the one that we always take first because the best power-up in the game is the mines. And you get a new power-up every time you go to a new world. So you can place a mine, like so, for just a very low cost of energy. And every time they blow up, you get health back. Oh, missed that one. And the point of this level is just get my health back to full. Which I'm doing by driving backwards on the track. That actually is a skip. Fortunately, it didn't go perfectly, so I lost a few seconds. Sometimes whenever mine doesn't blow up, it doesn't give you the full health back, and I had that there happen twice, which was annoying. But the point of that mission was to get your health back to 100%, so that's what we did. We got our health back to 100%, and we saved probably 45 seconds by driving backwards. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get through those rocks fast either because this guy bounced against me early in the race, which lost a little bit of my speed, which meant that I wasn't able to meet that global cycle. Now, the real fun comes. Mining everything. So, whenever a mine explodes, as I mentioned earlier, they blow up for a little bit of energy. and they get us a lot of energy back. So boosting takes a lot of energy to do at the advantage of going fast as we do it, so we place a lot of mines all over the place so that we can just boost all the time, basically, and not have to worry about how much health I have. So see, I almost died a few seconds ago because I was at low health of boosting, and my health immediately went back up to over half, just because 3 mines went off. So that's the power of the mines. However, driving into your own mine does massive amounts of damage to you, so I have to be very, very careful. And I'm actually counting as I'm playing how many mines I've placed and how many explosions I've heard. That way I know if those numbers are different, then I know that a mine didn't go off. I had to dodge it. Like back there, I had a hunch of which mine probably was the one that didn't go off, and I successfully dodged it. Had I ran into it, I would have died. You probably didn't even see it, honestly. I passed by it so fast. You have to be able to use this, though. You have to... It's really a talent that just comes with a lot of play to be able to do that. So here's our first boss fight of the game. It's the tanks. They are very annoying. So, but very fast. That was the tank fight. I used a technique there with the mines to get through that quickly. So I shot them a few times with the plasma guns whenever I wasn't inside the tanks. However, driving inside a tank like that actually does massive amounts of damage to me. So you might be wondering, how did you live then? Because really, it should pretty well kill you instantly. However, you can place mines as fast as you can mash the B button. And if you place a mine inside of a tank, it explodes the frame you lay it. Meaning that I get health back that frame, too. Because I'm sitting on top of the mine, and the animation doesn't have anywhere to go. You just get health instantaneously. So if I can mash quick enough, I can actually not take any damage while driving inside the tank and do massive amounts of damage to it. And also, that was a skip, by the way. This track doesn't have any safety barriers, and it's supposed to kill you if you drive off the edge. However, it turns out that the death animation takes a few frames for it to actually play. So I can drive off the track and drive back on a later point of the track and not die. So I saved probably about 2 minutes right there. And I'm going to save about 2 minutes right here using the exact same technique. It used to be able to do it another time very consistently. However, a patch to this game that I honestly need to remove from this computer has made it almost impossible to do it the next level that worked by the same way. So I'm going to lose about 30 seconds to compare to the world record run. Also, even before that, it didn't work consistently on my computer because since you only have a few frames to pull it off, if there's any lag at all as you're attempting the skip, you lose the skip. However, I can still beat this level quicker than normal. The point of it is to get to the front of the pack as fast as possible. Well, I'm a pretty good driver at this point, and the closer I stay to the edge of the track, it actually causes these guys to slow down for some reason. So I can actually get to the boss there about 20 to 30 seconds faster than originally intended. So even though I can't do the skip anymore consistently on my computer, it only loses somewhere between 20 to 30 seconds. And I probably wouldn't go for it in a marathon because even with a good PC, it only works about 1 out of 3 times. And if you miss it up first try, you're going to lose time. So, now we are visiting this planet that gets us the Harpoon power-up. The Harpoon is very awesome for multiple reasons. Namely, it can grab objects, that's its intention, and it also can be shot at the same time as you are using the plasma gun. And as you can tell, the Harpoon doesn't always come out the correct direction, so it can be a little bit annoying, but you hope that you don't get it. You saw that it came out of the side of my ship right there. I don't know what causes that error, Wow, I grabbed 2 bugs at once. That saves a bit of time. And now these bugs are entirely random where they are. And they spawn all over the place, and you just hope that it works out pretty well. So that was a fair bug level. I just need to grab 8 of them with the Harpoon. But the fact that the Harpoon and the plasma gun can be shot at the same time about doubles my DPS during boss fights that don't use mines, which is every other boss fight in the game. Every other boss fight now, the mines are useless, pretty much, for doing damage. So, as a result, I get the Harpoon second, is the second power-up I get to be able to beat the extra boss fights quicker, which several boss fights have really, really long animations on certain attacks. And what I'm doing, also going back to the mining technique to drive fast, turbo a lot. So what I'm doing here is, just driving as intended. But anyway, since several of the boss fights have really long attacks, using the mines and the Harpoon and the plasma gun all at the same time, I could do more damage to the bosses than really intended. And several of them I can kill before they ever... Actually, every single one I can pretty well kill before he starts a long attack, which saves a ton of time. So, that's why I get the Harpoon second. Really to save up to 30 seconds on some boss fights. And since every world has a boss fight, that saves a lot of time overall in the course of a run. The Harpoon doesn't save any time on the Siren's tanks, which is why, however, the mines, because of how OP the mine technique is against those tanks. However, the mine technique is used in every world to save time during races, because to drive out of your way and get health back is really slow. And mind you, I am getting experience points, so that will come into play later in this run. You get a power-up for 600 experience points that will obliterate a certain challenge. Make it extremely fast. So this boss has a shield around it. I'm going to pull pieces of it off with my Harpoon. It might have looked odd that I am driving so far out. There is a reason for that. There is a glitch with this boss that he can kill you instantly if you pull his shield off while you're close to him. So I am being very careful to make sure that doesn't happen. There we go. And that's that boss fight completed. So I stay close to him so I can get in shots with the plasma gun and the Harpoon very quickly, and then just tank him down really fast. And now we go to the planet that unlocks the teleport ability. The teleport ability actually isn't all that broken, which you would think it would be. You can teleport anywhere you want, but it turns out there's only 2 levels that really save time by using the teleport, and both of them happen to be in the teleport world in the first place. The only reason we're visiting this now, instead of the last world, instead of making this the last world, is because I don't have 600 experience points yet. This will get me over 600 experience points though, so I'll be able to do the glitch on the final world we visit, which will unlock the final 2 boss fights. So that was supposed to be a 2-minute race. However, it turns out that there's no invisible checkpoints that make sure you actually completed the entire track, so I could just teleport straight to the end and spend just a few seconds on it. So, pretty big time saver there. This world I'm not going to be using, race I'm not going to be using the mines on, which you might think, wait, aren't the mines OP? Well, it turns out that the invisible checkpoints in this track to check that I'm actually completing the race all have to be really close together, so I can basically teleport from one to the next and make the game think that I'm actually completing a lap much faster than actually driving around the track. So, no, I'm not going to be mining, I'm going to just be teleporting everywhere. No other track, none of the other races in this game have a track that has this issue. This is the only race that I can use this technique on. So that's why I'm getting the teleport now as compared to later, because it wouldn't save any time. However, having the Harpoon out having the Harpoon already will make this boss fight go about 20 seconds faster than without the Harpoon. So I want to make sure to get the Harpoon before coming here. And before I get the Harpoon, I need the mines to be able to mine the during that race for extra speed. So that really determines the order that we're going in here, really. And then you just need to do the Archeon's Vapors level, which is the driving track, kind of anywhere in the run. But I always... And then the final place will be the Arachne city, which I am going to be doing last because of a skip in it that requires me to have 600 experience points, which I will have after I complete this planet. So now I'm going to need to be really careful. And I finished the race with pretty much no energy left perfectly. On the side of the screen, which allows me to get more shots in, which allows me to kill him faster than normal and saves a lot of time. Now I am going to go up here to the XP place and buy the resilience upgrade for 600 experience points. The resilience upgrades adds a shield to my health bar, so I won't start losing health until I break the shield. So, the Fortress City unlocks a Black Crystal power-up, which turns enemy shots into experience points, and it costs a lot of health to use. So the point of this race is to get 100 experience points from enemy shots. But now that I have the shield, instead of racing all over the track, I could just sit in front of this guy and bust down my shield first, and now I'll have enough health left over to just sit in front of him and turn 100 of his shots into experience points. This trick is not possible without getting the resilience power-up first, so going ahead and buying the resilience power-up at that point saved me several minutes. As I mentioned, many unique skips in this game. And now another race where we'll use the mines a lot to get a lot of turbo boost power quickly so that we get to the end fast. So really, literally every power-up gets used in some unintended way to save time. The plasma gun, yeah, we use it to kill boss fights in conjunction with the Harpoon, using both of them at the same time. The mines, every single race in one boss fight, we blow the living daylights out of it. The Black Crystal, well, you just saw how we abused the Black Crystal to get a lot of experience points quickly. And complete that challenge much faster than normal. The smash boost, I'm smash boosting all over the place to save time. So every part of this game is just skip after skip after skip, optimizations. It's a really unique little run. And even the world that we aren't able to use power-ups in, well, there's big skips in it. So what do you know? I'm going to grab some health right there. Yeah, the green refills health, if you don't remember. I haven't used it since the first world, but, you know, whatever, it still does. And I want to have enough health to be able to smash boost through the waterfalls coming up, because the waterfalls really make us travel very slowly. But because I've been using the mines, I've got plenty of energy to get more than enough health to just smash boost my way through that entire waterfall section and save a lot of time. So, again, just keeping track of how many mines I've placed to save time. There we go. Some mines should be going off here shortly. There they are. So, yep, had enough health to smash boost my way through the waterfall. Pretty optimized. Pretty cool little run. A lot of tricks. So now I'm just going to wait for mines to start going off. There they are. And I'm getting health back. More than enough health to finish the race and boost my way through the waterfall. Again. Ooh, that was a bad bounce. Bouncing off walls is kind of random. Lost a few seconds of time there. All that's left are boss fights now. There's 3 boss fights left to complete the game. This boss fight is Arachne. It can spawn in 2 places. And every single time it's been spawning in the bad spot for me. But, whatever. That was that boss fight. It actually would have been faster had it spawned below me. By about 2 seconds. Whatever. Now we go to the final 2 boss fights. And the first boss fight is the longest one in the game, and then the last boss fight of the entire game is very, very brief. So I'm keeping a very close watch on my timer at this point, because sub 23 can happen. So using the harpoons and the plasma gun in conjunction together to get a lot of shots on him quickly. Even with the extra power up though, I will not have enough health to shoot down this boss, because every single shot I take, you know, takes away health from me. So I have to now use the mines on him up here to get a lot of health back really quickly. And now I've got enough health to actually kill this guy. Get a few shots in on him. Get a few shots in on him there. Up to the top of the screen. Back down. And he's dead. Okay, so sub 23 can happen here, guys. If I get this boss fight correct, sub 23 will happen. And of course my phone's ringing. Too late now. I'm in too deep. Should have called before I started this run. So I can manipulate where he teleports so that I can get a lot of mines in on him really quick and get a few shots in on him. And there we go. Come on. Just keep shooting. It happened. It happened. 22:58, sub 23. It happened. It happened! Whew! Yes! Oh my goodness. Woo! Finally happened. Finally happened. This is the end of the game. Finally happened. I think my stream died in the middle of it. Hi, swordsman. You came in a little late. Yeah. Sub 23 finally happened. It